Hi, I'm Katie. I've been surrounded with vintage goodies most of my life, but just in the last 10 years, I've figured out just how much delight I get from having it in my home and looking at it for other people. Come along as I share my shopping adventures at thrift stores, estate sales, and sometimes even along the curb. I will also be showing some of my decorating projects that I've completed and how I have chosen to add vintage to my home for a modern granny chic look. I hope you will find joy along the way as we reawaken vintage. Hello, hello. It is springtime. It's my favorite season of the year. I love the blooming flowers after the winter, and you have to remember, I live in Southern California, so we don't really have a extreme winter by any means, but we still get the grass that's a little brown and the flowers that, aren't blooming. And so I absolutely love just to see more sunshine and the flowers to bloom and everything to be pretty. So today I am going to walk you around because it is just about Easter time and show you some of the ways that I have merged our reawakened vintage stuff along with some new stuff. See if there's any ideas that you might get. I'll explain to you where I got the stuff. And as always, I would love to hear from you what kind of things you collect that are maybe special for you during the springtime or for Easter. And it would be great if you would even wanted to share a picture in the comments. Okay, off we go. So what I've done is just created a lot of different vignettes throughout my house of different things. So this really mainly is this is a vintage Avon candle that came out probably in the 80s. Most of the rest of the stuff outside of the carrots, of course, are somewhere in my house all year long. Same thing over here. A lot of the stuff is out all year long in different places in my house, and I just move them around. But I did get this vintage planter, cute little ducky. I think this was part of something bigger that I got from the thrift store. And then we have a little candy bowl, and yes, all the candy's already gone. Over here is one of my favorite places. This is a wall that I'll change things on from time to time throughout the year, again, depending on the holiday. So we have Mr. Rabbit that I got at a thrift store a couple of years ago. Then we've got a little cute wood rabbit that I just picked up last week at one of our shopping trips. You remember this if you're a little older, back in the day? Look at that. So it's like a candied egg. Usually they break. So the fact that I found one in an estate sale that's in pristine condition just super excited me. These, a few years ago at Salvation Army, I bought a whole bag of these and lambs. They're made out of paper, but if you can see, they're like little paper flowers that somebody made and then individually glued on to a form. I was able to sell most of them, but I did keep the rabbit. A couple of more vintage planners. I will tell you that this rabbit looks a little bit like a clown, or maybe a little on the scary side, but that's my collection. And then I got these off of a lady on Marketplace a couple years ago where she bent some spoons and put them on a board with some eggs, and I've got a few of them floating around the house. This is another bunny planter, again on the newer side from the thrift store. And then this is newer too. I'm sure you guys have seen these all around. Again, just adding little things like this around the house. All right, we'll jump outside for a few minutes. Obviously, when the kids were younger, I had the big plastic eggs and all kinds of things that I had outside decorated. Now I'm really pretty much just focusing on the front entryway right by my door. So this really cute find that I got a few years again at a thrift store, just very nature-like and goes with kind of the green and brown at the front of our house. This is an old vintage paper bunny that I put on the inside of my window. Luckily that blind is back there to kind of keep it. And then this cute little wooden bunny, again, just a thrift store find a few years ago. And I just redid my little area here to add the wreath and an old vintage step stool with this little metal sign. The bird is a magnet, and you can move the bird wherever you want. I don't quite see the thrill and all that, but that's okay. And then some vintage pottery that I picked up along the way throughout the years, again, just to make a little cute little rustic vignette outside. Okay, we're moving our way into the kitchen. So on my countertop here, this really did not get any thinking whatsoever. My friend Jessica gave me this old bowl. I was absolutely in love with it, and I just had picked these up at Salvation Army. They don't really go in there. There was no thought there. And then I always like to have different homemade pot holders that kind of go with different seasons. So this was a cute one. Not an old bunny, but it's a super cute bunny. So I have him on a vintage cake plate, excuse me, that's milk glass, and then a vintage Fiesta ware plate, and then these, I probably should have set them up ahead of time for you. There was a lady out there who got very, very crafty, and these are just plastic eggs, and she must have a Cricut or some type of die cut maker, and has little stickers that you can order of different Pyrex themes. So I got myself a half a dozen. I'll show you the last one. I've got it someplace else. I love springtime and Easter because you really can pull out anything pastel and girly and use it. So this is not an old, but a really pretty kind of jadeite looking bowl and a planter. Neither one of them are old. I picked up these cute little homemade carrots at the thrift store, and then I paired it with something that is old, which is a Family Circle cookbook that has the pastel ice cream colors. So again, just a really quick, easy way to make something. And then we're gonna jump over here again. I never clean up for these videos. You think I would think to do that. Here's an old, not an old glass bottle, but a glass bottle that I have sitting in my kitchen with just some fake flowers and stuff. And there's the last of the little eggs that I got. And then these are some homemade eggs that I, again, got at a thrift store years ago. And then if you enjoy Pyrex, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there are some ladies out there on Etsy that make all kinds of decals. So if you have some plain colored or plain, I should say, Pyrex, you can order these different decals. So I got these bunny rabbit decals that I put onto one of these split dishes, and it just looks so cute. Here is my china cabinet. We will talk more about the china cabinet at another time when I talk maybe more about Pyrex and how much I love it. I'll just kind of highlight the few things that I added for Easter time. A little ceramic pottery basket that I put some fake flowers in. Again, I was telling you about the lady who made these with the spoon. So I put one there and one down there. And most of the rest of the stuff that's blue and white themed stuff is here the rest of the year, and I'll just add things to it. I don't go too elaborate for the most part on my dining room table because we have a group of people that come and join us every Thursday night and sit and talk here. So if I had anything too big, they would just be moving the centerpiece anyway. Again, these are a lot of things I normally always have out. I've got my vintage deer and this bowl. So again, I just added from the thrift store up. This is just plastic, a plastic cake stand. And then this little wreath that has some eggs. And then I added a couple of pink larger doilies that I put right next to each other to kind of make a small runner on the table. A lot of people really desire to collect the hen dishes. So I have a few different ones of different sizes. So again, they're out all year long, but they get moved up, bumped up to a better shelf. And then another little vintage paper rabbit to go along the way. And then we can't forget the little ceramic duck. Okay, yes, even the guest bathroom gets a little bit of springtime bling. So I'll show you. I've got a couple of, it's a bath towel. But if you guys know, bath towels back in the day were much smaller. We were much smaller people back then. So almost what we would think of as a hand towel. This was the bath towel. And then we've got the hand towel here. It really is a beautiful pink color. It might look peachish just with the light I've got, but just I put that set out. And then I've got a few frames. This one I found at the thrift store. Somebody just painted some pretty flowers, but normally I always have 3 big frames sitting on the little ledge. And then let's turn on some more light. Woo! Then I just a few quick little things. Obviously we have our little Easter hand towel. This I found at the thrift store. I'm not quite sure what it is. Obviously it's a pink pot, but look at, like it had to have been a set of 2 that butted up against each other, and then maybe in the middle you put a vase for flowers. Unfortunately, they only had one, but that's okay. It's super pretty, perfect for this little corner here. And then here's a few cute little cloth bunnies I had made a few years ago. These are super simple. All you guys can make that with just some scraps of paper and some pruning shears and some glue. Very, very simple to do. One of the easiest ways I find to decorate my living room is with pillow slipcovers. So I have them for a lot of different holidays, and I've got 4 of them for Easter. So we've got those on our couches. And again, someday we'll take you on a tour of everything here. But for right now, we're just focusing on spring stuff. And then on my coffee table, we have 3 old pieces of vintage pottery that just are so pretty to me. And again, this is the perfect time of year to put them all out, along with some fake flowers. Maybe not the best with these fake flowers, but got them at the thrift store. So again, just a way to put pops of pretty color throughout the house. Okay, the last area is the piano. Again, a lot of this stuff is out year long. You can guess what is it. Oh yes, there's my hubby and I at our wedding in 1990. Yes, I've dated myself. So again, not super old, but a little, I think this was an FTD planter. We've got, again, deer, but he doesn't really look like a Christmas deer, so he hangs out all year long. I found this really cute little basket that somebody had decorated up several years ago, so I have it out each time. And then again, a flower decoration that's always out with a little bunny pick. I will show you a sneak peek of something that we're going to be doing around the house. Here it is. I found this awesome, really big, probably 4 feet long, vintage window. And my idea is that it's going to go right there in between what I've got and right above the piano. So we'll check in on that later and see if it went up and if it looked good. Thanks so much for following along today. As always, I would love to hear what you're doing for Easter decorating, spring decorating, and which ones of you out there is spring your favorite time. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.